Hello, everyone. Am I audible? Let's wait for like 5 minutes. Hello, guys. Welcome to the session. This is the first workshop of the web development series of DSC NMAMIT. Have you guys installed VS Code? If you have any doubts regarding installing VS Code, you can put it in the comments, the live chat. Rishan, you can go to the link which is given in the chat section and download it using that link. Rishan, just keep it installed. We'll let you know if we need any installations later, settings later. Hello, guys. Welcome to the first session of the web development series of DSC NMAMIT. So this will be the first session for the year by DSC, and so we plan to go through the whole lot of web development things, but we'll start from the basics, so that will be helpful for everyone who are interested to web development. And as most of you have given your votes to web development last time when Arjun had asked, so we thought of starting with the HTML and CSS. So I would like to know if everyone over here have joined our Discord channel. So we'll be discussing a lot of things about tech there, and even after the session, like if you have any doubts, you can reach out to us there. So it's a nice place to join. So you can join it over there. So I'll just share the screen. My name is Shashank. I'm the web development co-lead at DSC NMAMIT. We have with us the web lead of DSC NMAMIT. His name is Arvind. I welcome Arvind for this session. So let's start with introduction to web design. Let's go through the milestones. What are we planning for the year by web development? Today, October 4th, we are here. We started with web development journey, like with HTML and CSS. Next, before actually going to JavaScript, we'll go through CSS libraries. Probably the next session will be that. We'll discuss about Bootstrap, Materialize CSS, etc. Guys, just let me know. Am I audible? Yeah, okay. After going through CSS libraries, we'll go to JavaScript programming, where we'll learn how to manipulate the web page and user interaction with JS. So once we're done with JavaScript, then we'll move on to the libraries or frameworks of JavaScript. We'll go through the React.js to make smoothly functioning UI with React. And once we are done, yeah, we'll of course have small like mini projects or so in between. And next, we'll go through the backend development, and we'll discuss about the package managers and how to make REST APIs and work with databases using Node.js, etc. Then finally, we'll make a full stack web development project. Maybe you can solve local issues, maybe at your place or maybe in college. So we'll help you out with that as soon as we reach there. So these are our milestones for the year. Hope you will join us with it. So the main part of today's workshop is why HTML and CSS. HTML is the basic structure of any website. And this is how a website looks with HTML, and this is how it looks with CSS. HTML contains head, body, etc., but it doesn't have any styling. If you need styling, then CSS helps you to be like it's a presentation layer. CSS helps you to design websites really well, and it makes the appearance good. So First, we'll go through what HTML is, and we'll probably make a small website on that, web page on that. And later, we'll move on to CSS and design it and give it colors and etc. Before moving on to the HTML, we need to get to know some parts of networks or what's going on behind a web page, and also we need to know what exactly is HTTP and HTTPS. I'm sure you have seen the HTTP and HTTPS in the website URL. URL is Universal Resource Locator. What is HTTP and HTTPS? And we need to know the major difference between these two. What is HTTP? HTTP is Hypertext Transfer Protocol, and HTTPS is Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. What's the difference between them? So, if I enter my password to two different websites, but the first website is having HTTP, and the second website is having HTTPS. So, if I enter the password over here XYZ123, this is how the third party people can see the password which you have entered. That is, there's no password encryption as such, so you can directly see the password or any other confidential things for that matter. And what we can see in HTTPS website is there is end-to-end encryption over there, and so the third-party people or the hackers can actually see the encrypted format of the password which you have entered. So HTTP is like more secure than HTTP. HTTPS is more secure than HTTP. So every web developer would definitely prefer HTTPS over HTTP. Then we'll see what's going on behind the web page or website. How does internet actually work? So when you just enter the URL of a website, you can just see the domain name in that. If you just like go to nmamit.nitte.edu.in, that is the domain name. But the thing is, the server doesn't understand the domain names and all. So what happens if you just enter the URL? This image actually I had taken from Academine. It's a very good like YouTube channel, and they have website as well. So uh, when we open a website or give a URL, the browser actually goes to the web server where the website is actually located. For instance, if you need to check our college website, we'll type nmamit.nitte.edu.in. But how will the server get to know, like if we refer to the same website? So that's where the IP address actually comes into picture. IP address is official address of any website. You can even visit the website with the IP address. But domain name is much more readable. Like IP address is something like 172.16.1.100 or something. You can see in the college look intranet. So this is far more better and human readable. So when we enter the domain name, the browser contacts the DNS server. So that is called the request. The browser will request the DNS server. DNS is domain name system. What DNS does is it translates the domain name to IP address. DNS is actually a huge dictionary where IP addresses are mapped with domain names. Then domain will be converted into IP address over here, and this IP address is given to the browser. So browser can actually, make the request to the server. Here in the server, it generates the website, and that is given as a response to the website. To host a website, you need to have a domain name and hosting. The hosting will be having the source code and the images of any website. And then as the server will be holding the source code, the website shows up when the code is sent to the browser. So then we'll move on to the tools for web development. As uh, we have a question: the difference between IP address and domain name. IP, yeah, I think I had told this. Domain name actually is the human readable form of IP address. Domain name contains the maybe name of the institution or so. It's actually the users wish to have any name in the domain name, but IP address is not like that. IP address is generated according as they map with the domain name. It is actually generated over there. So domain name is more human readable. So what are the tools for web development? Tools, we just need text editor or code editor for web development, nothing much, not much installation part is there in web development. So these are some of the most used code editors: VS Code, Sublime Text, Atom, Vim Editor, Notepad++, brackets. We use VS Code. You can use Sublime or Atom also, but these are rarely used, I guess. So I hope you all are ready with the VS Code installation. So let's get our hands dirty with HTML5 then. What is HTML5? HTML5 is hypertext markup language. Uh, so I had told you like why HTML is used. It's the basic structure of a website. So tags and elements in HTML. There is something called tag and element. Those two are actually different things. HTML tags are special words or letters surrounded by angle brackets. We use tags to create HTML elements such as paragraph or links. Many elements have an opening tag and a closing tag. It is used to mark start or end of any element. So what is HTML element? The whole thing, including the opening tag, closing tag, and the content, is called as HTML element. So let's get into boilerplate. That is like, I'll just move on to VS Code. So yeah, I hope when you install VS Code, you can actually see something like this. So you need to create a new folder, and or you can just create a new file if you're not working on a big project or so. But it's better if you create a new folder. For example, if I open and create new folder, HTML workshop. So I create a new file over here. No, I'll just open this in VS Code. You can just close all this if you're getting that. So we have a folder over here, and we can create a new file using this, and you can create another folder inside this folder. This is used to refresh. So we'll create a new file. File name we can keep as index.html. So This is actually used to navigate. This here we can search, and this is version control. We'll be teaching it someday, I guess. It's very huge, like GitHub, Git version control. Here, this is used to install extensions. I would recommend you to install Live Server. Live Server, you can get it over here. Yeah, just I have already installed, so you can just install. If you're done installing Live Server, just type yes in live chat. If you're already done installing it, we can move on. I hope you have already installed Live Server plugin. Okay, thank you. So the first, what is a boilerplate? Boilerplate is basic structure of the HTML. How do we get that? We can just type the exclamation and just press enter. We'll get a boilerplate. So we'll just go through the boilerplate, like what are the components or what are the elements over there. So what exactly is doc type? Doc type is like an information to the browser about what document type to expect. Like here, it's an HTML document. It may be any other document in that case. Like, so here we are using HTML, so it's a HTML document. So what is this? So this is HTML with the language we are typing or coding over here. That is English. And head tag. Head tag is a container for the metadata and is placed between HTML tag and body tag. Metadata is data about the HTML document. It typically defines the doc title, character set, styles, scripts, etc. So what exactly is this UTF-8? UTF-8 is basically a unique code-based encoding which can support many languages and can accommodate pages and forms in any mixture of languages. So what is this meta name, viewport, content, and all? This actually gives the browser instruction on how to control the page dimension. So this is device width, where width of the HTML page will be equal to the device width. You can see if you just save this file and open with live server, it will just open, but there's nothing over here. So yeah, meta tag actually won't be displayed on page, but it is machine passable. So we have title over here. Title is actually really important. It specifies the title of the web page. Title tags are displayed on search engine result pages as clickable headline for a given result and are important for SEO as well. SEO is search engine optimization. For example, we'll give DSC NMAMIT. And this is visible over here as the title. So yeah, that seems to be important for me. And next up, we have body tag. Body tag defines the document's body. The tag contains all the contents of an HTML document, such as headings, paragraph, images, hyperlinks, etc. There can be only one body tag in the HTML document. So next, next we'll see about the H1 to H6 tag. Uh, the, what H1 to H6 tags actually does are they're used to define HTML headings. H in the sense it's heading, and it defines most important. H1 defines most important heading, and the H6 defines the least important heading. Let's check it out, like how it works. If you give H1 and enter, we'll get the H1 tags, and between that we can write like anything which we would like to have in that. We can write like just a sec. Yeah. Uh, we can just give hello everyone. So if we save and go to the live server, we can actually see hello everyone. So this will be the most important tag, sorry, the most important text in the page heading. So if you need to copy the line and paste it in the next line, we can uh, actually give Control Shift down arrow. So we can just give it as H2. So look at this. This will not be more important than this, the H2. So it will be in the smaller font. And same goes with the next one as well. So I just type H1, H3, 4, 5, and 6. 3, 4, 5, and 6. But this is the least important. H6 is the least important uh, tag, and this will be the most important one. So this is basically used for heading. Next, we'll see about the paragraph tag. Just a sec. Yeah. We'll see the paragraph tag now. For paragraph tag, you can just give P and press enter. Uh, Paragraph tag is actually represents paragraph. HTML paragraph can be any structured grouping of like related content, such as images or forms, fields, etc. So in the paragraph, we can like type anything. We can just save and see the changes. Look, this is actually comes like a paragraph. We can or else take lorem ipsum text. So we'll just paste this lorem ipsum text. Just check it out. Yeah, this comes like a paragraph. And yeah. Next up, we need to see The comments in HTML, yeah, comments is what every programming language has, and comment actually allows us to leave notes about the code, its functionality, or maybe to indicate necessary changes for the future. So if, for say, if I have to comment it out, then just actually the comment goes like this: open conical bracket and hyphen hyphen, sorry, not hyphen hyphen, and inside this you can just type anything, and this won't be visible over here. Instead of just typing all this, you can just select this thing and press Control slash, and that will be added as comment. So now h6 won't be visible. I need to search save. Yeah, h6 is not visible now. So yeah, commenting is done. So next we'll move on to the a tag. Yeah, a tag. What is a tag first? A tag actually defines a hyperlink which is used to link from one page to another. The most important attribute of a element is href attribute, which indicates the link's destination. Let's see how it actually works. A and enter, it actually generates the href with it. So we can just type, for example, https colon slash slash NMAMIT dot, sorry, dot nite dot edu dot in, and actually you can set the target if you actually need to open it in the new tab, or else I'll just show without opening in the new tab, and then we can see it. I'll just type Nikkei. So yeah, I'll just save it and we'll see. Yeah, this acts as a link to the external site, that is Nikkei website. And I'll just click, if I just click it, the page opens up here. What if I don't want this page to open up here, and instead I want to open this page in the new tab? Then I need to give target is equal to underscore blank. So if I just save and run, I saved, right? Yeah. I'll just click this. So this will open up in the new tab. Easy, right? So that's how you do. And the another thing about a tag is a tag which has no href is only a placeholder for hyperlink. So the link page is normally displayed in the current tab, and yeah, you specify target to open it in the new tab. Once we are done with a tab, we'll move on to div. Actually, just a minute. Yeah, there is something called div and span. People actually confuse a lot with this. Let's go through what div is, and then we'll move on to span. Div actually defines a division or a section in an HTML document. It's used as a container for HTML element, which is then styled with CSS or maybe manipulated with JS. If you just specify div for like a container, then it will take the width of a page. But yeah, that's not the case in span as shown in the diagram. So let's see how it works. We'll give div Yeah, or else we can also do this. We can just enclose this whole heading stuff within div. If you type div and click enter, then we can just uh, paste it over here. If you need to format the document properly, then you can just click format, right click and format document so that it looks very well. And we'll just save, and we can't see any changes because if we want to add any styling, then we can give the class name for div, which will be explained later. And yeah, so this is just to make the section or make it as a container so that we can actually add colors or anything, any CSS or JavaScript to this whole content together. Next, what is span? Span is something like it's a generic inline. It's an inline container for phrasing content which does not like inherently represent anything. It can be used to group elements for styling purposes. It's basically used to mark up a part of a text or part of a document. We'll see how it actually works. Okay. For example, if we add a p tag over here, yeah. So we'll add like our college building is, suppose we want to have the red color for the color red and everything else to be in the black. We can just have a span over here, and we'll just give a red over here and give the style and color is red. So now what happens is everything other than red will come in black color, and this red will actually be visible in the red color. Red in color. Yeah, we'll save it and check it out. Yeah, this is a p tab which we had written there, and our college building is red in color. So the red can be visible. So as I said earlier, this is used to mark up a part of a text or part of a document as well. So what's the difference between div and span? Div and span are both used as content wrappers, but the major difference between the two is that div is a block element, while block element you can see over here, but span is an inline element. Div takes entire like screen width, whereas span confirms to the width of whatever the element it contains. Like this is an element, so it just takes the width of the element. But div, it's not like that. Even if this element is small, it takes the width of the entire screen. So yeah, next up we have, maybe we can just go with link list. We'll go with the list. There are two types of lists, that is ordered list and unordered list. What exactly is ordered list? Ordered list, um, let's see about list first. The list is represented as li. It's li tag. So if you just give different lists like first and control. For example, we have three, so we'll just rename it. keep it at second, third, yeah. So this will actually act as lists. By default, it actually acts as the unordered list. There are two types, ordered list and an unordered list. Unordered, the main difference between those two is the unordered list. Unordered list, if you give unordered list, we can get in the bullet points. Each point is uh, like preceded with bullet point. And for example, if I enclose this with the unordered list, yeah, I'll just format it. Yeah, the output will be same for the default list and the unordered list. But what happens with ordered list? I'll just change this to OL. OL is ordered list and UL is unordered list. If I just change this to ordered list, let's save the changes. Look, this is what we get. Unordered list gives us the bullet points, and here we can get the numbers in the uh, ascending order. It might be number or maybe alphabet as well. One thing, the advantage about ordered list is we can actually have the you can actually have custom values in ordered list. How can we do that? We'll just give the type for ordered list, and we'll give I, that is Roman, and we'll give the value of li, first li, as 3 p. So we'll just change this name, maybe let it be. What happens here is the numbering starts from 3, and we don't get 2 after 3, but instead the number goes in the ascending order itself. So we'll get 3, 4, and 5, so that we can have the now we can start the number in between. So that's all about OL and UL, I mean lists. Next up, we can go with image. Image is like, just a sec. Yeah. Image is IMG tag. If you just, if you just give IMG and press enter, we get 2 attributes. What exactly is the IMG tag first? IMG is used to embed an image in an HTML page. Images are like technically not inserted into a web page. Instead, it is linked to the web page. This is how the image tag has 2 attributes. Those are actually required. What SRC specifies here is it specifies the path to the image. And art, what is art? Art specifies an alternate text for the image. Like if the image for some reason cannot be displayed, then this text will be displayed. We just add a source. Maybe we can go to Unsplash. We just copy link address and just paste it over here. And art, we can actually give anything. Like maybe Unsplash itself. What? Let's save and check the progress. Is it not visible? Yeah, just wait. Yeah, we need to copy the image address actually. We just save it and check the progress. Yeah, our image is here. And but one thing we need to remember is when you like add an image, it's recommended to specify the width and height of the image as well. Like if they're not specified, then the page might flicker when the image loads. Yeah. So we'll add the maybe, yeah, we can add the height and width. We'll add it over here. We'll add height as maybe 500 px, width as 500 px maybe. It's a random number. This is actually specified now. The image size is actually specified, so you can actually change it as per your requirements in the website. So once the image is done, we can move on to the button. Uh, yeah. What is button? Button defines a clickable button. Button tag defines the clickable buttons. So we just see how the button goes. Yeah. Let's type button and click enter. So this is button tag. Within the button tag, we'll give click here, and we need to always specify the type attribute with the button element to tell the browser what type of button it is. Here we'll give type as button and save it, and we'll just see here. Just a second. Yeah, or else we'll keep it at below this image, maybe over here. You just save it and click here. It actually doesn't do anything because we have not added any on click or any listeners as such. So yeah, this is just a HTML button, which can help you a lot in future while designing your website. But yeah, there are many other stuffs too. So now, next up we have like if you need to divide this text part with image, you need to divide these two things. How can you do? We need a horizontal line over here. How exactly can we do that? We'll just before the image, we can just give HR and press enter. HR tag defines a thematic break in an HTML piece. This element defines a thematic break, and this element is most oftenly displayed as a horizontal line that is used to separate content in HTML. As I said, I'll just save this and let's see how it goes. Yeah, now this part is divided from this part with the line, horizontal line. So now I actually need some space over here. How can I give some void space over here? I'll just give BR after this. BR it produces a line break in text. It is considered as a void element, and as it has no content, it's considered as void element. So now we'll just check it out. Yeah, we have a gap. If I give more, I'll get a lot of space over here. So yeah, these are some of the basic tags and elements in HTML. We have more, like we have semantic tags and yeah, we have semantic tags and many more forms and many more. Actually, Arvind, who is the web lead, will take over the session after this. So he'll be building a lot of like hands-ons, and he'll probably make you build a small web page kind of thing so that you'll get a better exposure. So I would like to ask Arvind to take over the session.
Okay, hello everyone. If I'm audible, just say yes in the comments. Am I audible, Shashank?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. So I believe it's audible in the YouTube as well. So let's continue with this. I'll share my screen in a minute. Okay. So let's continue with the session. So before moving to some more some more tags in HTML, I would like to give you an introduction in CSS. Just a note that there are, whatever Shashank mentioned, there is a lot more tags that we simply can't cover within 2 hours. So like some of the tags, some of less important tags we have not included, but the most basic things we will be covering. Okay, so let's get started. Now, before moving to CSS basic syntax, I would like to show you like how to include CSS in your web page. Now, what I want you to do is go to the desktop and make an empty folder, and go inside that empty folder and open your VS Code. In the VS Code, let's make a just a sample web page. Okay. So Shashank might have told you this. To bring in a boilerplate, you just have to press exclamation mark and tab. That will give you a boilerplate. Now let's put some elements into this. First, I'll just write an hello world. Now, first way of using styles in HTML is through style attribute. Now, don't worry what I'm writing inside the double quotes. I'll simply write color and I'll write red. Now, if I open with live server, as you can see, that is also possible. That is also a possible way to style elements. But actually, if you go on styling like this, don't do this. I'll just show it for the. Okay, if you add more and more styles, as you can see that like it will get overcrowded, and like that also in the HTML itself. So it's not good. So let me get rid of all these. So what other way we can use to style the HTML is style tag in the head section. I'll tell what these H1 and brackets mean. Don't do this. This is just for presentational purposes. Now I'll get rid of this. Now if you go and see, that has turned green. That is also one more way of including style. Now even there also it might get overcrowded. In the same page, everything if you write like it will take like 400 lines to make your entire web page. That is not good. So you can separate the styling in a separate file. So here, let me use the same tag. I'll give a blue color. Get rid of this. Now if you go and see, wait a minute, I haven't, okay. When I do this, when I make a separate file, what I have to do is link that file in the main HTML page. Okay, I'll explain this slowly. What you can do is type link and press tab. Then in order to link that page, you have to write dot / then suggestions appear, so you can select the style.css. Now just save the file, just press Ctrl S, and you'll be able to see the style being applied. Okay, let's get started with the rest of the content. Now here, like how we style different elements. So like in order to style different elements, we use Css rules. Okay, and this is how individual rule looks like. There is a selector. Selector is what you use to select the element or parts of the HTML page that you want to style. And rule also consists of properties. Here I've used font size property that like increases or decreases the size of the font. Okay. More about selectors will be explained in the next session, next slide. But I'll simply show you the selectors and anatomy in real style.css. Here H1 is the selector, and color is a property, and blue is its value. So let's go to the next slide. Now, as you have seen, H1 means the H1 tag. Okay, there are other ways to select the element. So I'll just go through them. The H1 you have already seen, that is element tag, that is also used to like style the HTML elements. The next way is ID. Okay, so let's go to the index.html. If I give this an ID of say main heading, and here I actually write hash followed by main heading and give it a font size of 64 pixels. Don't worry about what pixels means. I'll get to that as well. And go and look at it. It has actually become 64 pixels of font size. Okay. Now let's go to the next selector. But before that, just look at this. Just look at the ID. ID is used to uniquely select the HTML elements. Okay, in the sense there can only be one element with the given ID. For instance, I have one more element with the same ID. The thing is, yeah, you can have one more element with the same ID, but the problem is that if you are using Mozilla, you'll be able to know this. If you go to inspect element and console log, you can okay, it's not visible, but it's okay. I'll just tell, but some browsers do complain that you can't have same ID for two elements. Okay, so let's get rid of this. ID is unique for a given web page. Okay, Next selector is class. Now class is used to, okay, let me just show you the like syntax of class. Class starts with a dot and has class name. Okay, so let me give this a class. ClassContint. Now let's give some styling. I'll give a container padding of 42. Don't worry about what padding means. I'll explain that later. But when you give that property, and if you go and look at it, it has been applied to that, and there is a spacing around the element. Okay. Now, if I go and give one more tag the same class, you can see that there also the padding appears. So that is one way of targeting multiple elements. Now, okay, let's go to our next section. Okay, that is not it. There are more ways of using the selectors. So let me just show. Now I'll get rid of all of these and use a header. Don't worry about what that tag means also, because that will be explained very soon. Now if I give this the ID of main header, and I have a h1 element, and let that be anything, it doesn't matter. And if I go here and I'll get rid of these, I'll bring them later. Now if I put h1 color blue, that also works. Okay, but if I have more h1s here, let's say outside this I have an h1, I say buy, then that also has blue color. I don't want that. I just want the element inside main header to have blue color. So how could I do that? What I can do is I can write main header using ID's selector. Like main header is a selector for ID. Inside that there is an h1, and I want to give that a color of blue. So I'll just save that, and if I go and look, only the h1 inside main header is colored. So that is one way of using selector. That is like using nesting. Okay. And obviously you have seen dot container in the previous slide. There is last one more selector that is used to style all the elements in the web page. That is star. If I give everything an underline, that will be visible as well. Like you are targeting every element on the page. So okay, these were the basics. So let's go to the next section. Now let's start with font styling. Okay. Now I'll let the selector be. Okay. This selector only we will use. I'll get rid of color. If I write fonts, like if I write font size and give a size of 64 pixel, as you can see, this font has become 64 pixels big. Other font properties include font weight. You can, now it's bold, right? So I'll make it normal. So if you go and see, it has become normal. This is still bold because I didn't style that. And you can see, like when I write FO, already the styles appear. You can select anything you want. I'll go to font family. Now I'll be able to select one of these fonts, or if I know the font already, I can type that also. For instance, I'll use font family monospace, and that will also be applied. Okay, these were 3 properties. There are many more. In order to show that, I'll have to use a paragraph. I'll type P and press tab. Now, if I want lorem ipsum text, I can simply write LOREM. Let's say I want 10 words. I can write 10 and press tab. I get 10 words. 10 words is not enough for me, so I'll use lorem. 40. So I'll get 40 words. If I go and see there, you can see there is like a big paragraph. Now I just want space between the lines. Okay, what can I do? What I can do is I want to target all the paragraphs. And like I'll use line height. Don't worry about this measure. Okay, what 2m means, I'll explain that as well. Instead, okay, we'll use other pixels only. I'll use 32 pixels. Now if we go there and see, there is a space between the lines for paragraphs. So these are some of the like important font properties. Okay, so okay, now we have seen all of them separately, right? Font size, line height, and font family. Let's say I want to use a single tag for all of these. That is also possible using font property. Okay, first like first word that you write is font size, second is line height, and the third one is font family. So let me just add all of them to h1. I'll write font. First is font size, so I'll make it really big, 64 pixels. Second is line height, so I'll make it like 32 pixels. Then finally font family, that is monospace. So if I go and see there, wait a minute, I didn't target it correctly. Give me a minute. Okay. Okay, wait a minute. I'll add font size to every h1. Okay. Okay. So there is some problem with font property for now, so we'll ignore that. But yeah, I'll just show the previous font properties. Font size, font weight, and font family are some of the important font properties. So like right now we'll have a Q&A session, and Shashank will take over for Q&A for the previous section.
Hello, guys. You can ask for any doubts if you have. You can put it in the chat section.
Suyog, that theme is actually, I'll show that. It's Synthwave 84. I'll show it once when I open VS Code.
If you like don't have any doubts, we can move on, I guess. Yeah, Arvind, we have a question.
Yeah, like you can use Google Fonts. Like you just have to copy the link. So like in the like we are planning to do mini projects. So one disclaimer I would like to say, like, yeah, in order to cover the basics so that like everyone, even the beginners, get used to HTML, we do have to take some time, right? So in the mini projects, we'll be using Google Fonts, okay? So let's say if the time runs out and we couldn't finish, we'll either do YouTube tutorials or we could, have a session tomorrow as well, like for an hour, like we'll send the link.
Yeah, Arvind, you can continue, I guess.
Okay, I'll share the screen. Shashank, just share the screen, please. Okay, let's see the font properties. So as I was saying, the theme is synthwave 84. Okay, try it later. Okay, let's continue. Now that was about font properties. Let's go to colors. Now, yeah, we used red, blue, or whatever color, right? For colors, we just use the words. Now let's use some ways of coloring the content. Now, first, I like to show hexadecimal colors. You'll have to put 6 hexadecimal letters, and if you save it, now the problem is I'm using white, so the text won't appear at all. So that is how it looks here. Like these letters are hexadecimal. Okay, it ranges from 0 to 9, and then from A to F for 0 to 15. Okay, now, like, yeah, you can you can just type manually f, but that is time consuming. So what you can do is you can write hash ff, and like it's not possible to remember everything, right? So you can hover over that color and select whatever color you want on this like UI, and you can change the like color using slider, and also how bright or how like how how much the opacity is using this slider. So I don't know, we'll use a shade of blue. Okay, now if you go and see there, that is reflected. Now, okay, there are few more colors as well. There is HSL, which stands for hue, saturation, and lightness. Now, I'll mention these two colors for completeness, but I personally use hex color. So there is RGB, sorry, color, RGB, and everything appears like even the like cursor blinks over that. So these range from 0 to 255. Okay, you don't need to remember this. You can just type 0, 0, 0, and later if you hover over it, it automatically appears the cursor. So you can move around and select your favorite color. So I'll just select some green, I guess. So if you go and see, it has turned green. Now, if you want, want to change the opacity, there is RGBA. So A for alpha, okay, that is used to change the opacity. I mean, how much, how much you want that text to appear. So I'll go for 0, 0, 0, and alpha I'll change it to 5. That means 50%. So yeah, as you can see, it's half appearing and kind of like it fades. There is one more color, HSL. Here hue ranges from uh, 0 to 360. So I'll write some 45. This I'll write some 45, and lightness changes from 0 to 100. Sorry, that is using decimal, so I'll use 0.4. If you go and see, it has some similar effects, like because here also it's giving the same shade, so it it is not different. So I'll change this. Okay, I'll use maybe some red color. Look at this. Here also you can change the type of color. Okay, here it's RGB, so you can change that to HSL or hexadecimal or so on. Here also it shows the percentage and everything. 0, 85 and 42, it's showing here. So now it's red. I'll get rid of all these, so because they're not important. And if you're wondering how I'm commenting directly, what you can do is click on the property and press Control/, so it comments that. Okay, I'll get rid of all these. Just one color is enough for now. So these were some of the colors: hexadecimal, hue, saturation, lightness, red, green, blue, and red, green, blue, and alpha. So the breakdown of hexadecimal color is like this. Okay, first two digits correspond to red, like how much red this given color is. Next two digits correspond to how much blue the text is, and last two is for green. So that was about colors. So now next we will go to box model. Now I'll use a div. Okay, I'll get rid of all these. Here also you can select all these and press Control plus / is this, by the way. So if I press that, it will be commented, and I can start a new div, and I'll give it a class of box. Okay, I'll put some content into it using paragraph and lorem maybe 30. Okay, now let's check. Yeah, it's looking like this. Now if I go to CSS and for box class, I give a width of say 16 pixel. Okay, sorry, 16 pixel is too small. I'll give it 100 pixel. And if you go and check this, now 100 pixel is around like only so much. That is why all the content is kind of narrow, so it doesn't look good. Let's change it to 200 pixel. I think that will be good enough. So this is good enough for now. We'll change that. That is how box model works. Actually, you actually give the how much width you want, and you'll see the same changes in the web page. Now let's give a padding. First I'll just give, and then I'll explain. Okay, first I'll give a padding of 16 pixel and margin of 16 pixel. Now what that does is, now I'll show you how to check what margin is, what is the width of this content using your browser. Okay, press inspect element. In Mozilla, the console and everything looks like this, but in Google Chrome it might look different, so don't panic, it's almost the same. Okay, so in Mozilla there is a box appearing here. Okay, in Chrome users, just look at this for now. You can please try Mozilla because it is good. Like it gives many useful features which I haven't seen in Chrome. I'm not talking about this section. In general, I've seen in other areas. Okay, so in Mozilla you can see a box here. Okay, you can see the margin. I had written 8, that is appearing here. If you hover over it, it'll show where the margin has been applied. And next, the padding margin is outside the border. Okay, and okay, let's give the border also. Border, it goes like this, the width of the border, and what type of border it is. We'll use solid. I'll explain the border types as well. And the color of the border, let's just go with red. Now if you put that, you go and see, it'll look like this. Okay, as you can see, the content outside the border is margin. What is present inside the border is padding. Here it's 0. Wait, did I apply padding? Yeah, I did apply. I'll tell why it's not appearing, within the border. And then there is the content. Okay. Now, content sometimes content includes padding as well in some cases. How to change that, I'll tell. Okay. So that is it. The content outside the border is margin, and like whatever is present inside the border is padding and content. Okay. So now, though the width what we applied is 300 pixels, but here it's showing 1520, which is 1520, which is not good. So what we can do is, in order to strictly apply the width, you can do box sizing, border box. By default, it will be content box. Okay. So that means the padding will be applied only around the content, and border will be around that content. But the whole content is this big, like the full page itself. In order to avoid that, we can use box sizing, border box. Now, if you go and check, you can see that. Wait, did I apply that? Okay. You can check that. The padding appears over here. Wait, I'll select the div. Okay. The padding is between the border. Like padding and the width of this whole thing is restricted to 200 pixels properly. So I'll get rid of this. Sorry, let it be for now. Let's not worry about that. That was about the box sizing. Like we can set width and height, and we can add padding around the content. How did I do this? That also I'll tell. In Mozilla, there is this icon. If you press on it, you'll be able to check what is the padding, what is the margin, and everything. Okay. So let's continue. That was about box sizing. So how would I center? Okay, I'll tell the weaknesses of just using box sizing. Okay. Let's say I want to center this box. What I'll have to do is, now padding you can apply all around the box, or you can apply to one side of the box. Okay, using padding left. Let's say I'll put 128 pixel, which is so much, but I'll just add it for this case. Now padding will be applied and the content will be more squished. So I'll add margin left instead. Wait a minute. Okay, if I put margin left, you can see that you can somehow bring the content towards the center. Okay, I'll put even more margin, 24 pixels. So as you can see, you'll have to do that more and more to bring this towards the center, right? I can put 400 pixels. As you can see, it's more time consuming. That is why box model is not used these days. There is a different way of centering things these days. But what you should remember from box model is you can set width, you can set padding, margin, and such related stylings. Okay. So that was about the box model. There is padding, there is border, and there is margin around the content. So one more thing, even if I get rid of, even if I get rid of this style, the thing is, browser by default also applies certain margin and padding. Okay. So in order to get rid of that, what you can do is you can use this select all selector, and you can do padding 0 and margin 0. What that does is cancels out all the padding and all the margin in the page. So let's go to the next slide. Now, as I was mentioning pixels every time I used to give width or font size. Now let's analyze each of these measures. Okay. So I'll just use one of the, this is not needed, I'll just comment this. We'll just use a paragraph. Okay, so I'll just write hello world, and we'll target all the paragraphs here. Now first I'll use font size 64 pixels. So 64 pixels, what does pixel mean? Pixel is the smallest unit that is visible on the screen. Okay, you don't need to know what it exactly means, but it is a unit of measure, just like centimeter or inches. But it depends on like what device you are using, how good that device is. Okay, and that was the first unit of measure. Next unit of measure is percentage. Now just note that paragraph is like 100%, like it consumes 100% of the page. Okay, let me go to paragraph. As you can see, it covers the whole page. Now for the font size, what I can do is I can use percentage 20%. No need, 20% is too much. I'll use 3%. Okay, 3% was too small. I'll use like 14%. That is also small. Pardon me. So okay, 90%. What does that mean? Percent means that like the 100% means the like initial width of the paragraph. If I use 90%, it means 90% of 16, which is I'm not good in maths, so like it consumes 90% of like whatever the initial font size was. Okay, so that was the second unit of measure. Let's go to next unit, that is VH. So what does VH means? Let's use some 10 VH. Okay, VH means 10% of device height. Now I use 10 VH, it becomes so much big. If I use like 50 VH, it will become 50% of the total device width. As you can see, if I change the like height, it will also change. It will become so big, which is not good. So I'll get rid of that. Similarly, there is VW, 50% of the screen width. So that will also cross the screen. So let's not use it. I'll use just one VS, that is enough. Now it's very small. Fortunately, 1% of screen width, it's okay. If we use 10 VW, that is not good. So I'll write all of these side by side. Okay, just for reference. VH, there is percentage, there is 16 pixel. These were covered. Now let's go to next measure, that is rem. Rem means relative to the font size of HTML. Okay, that means the like root element. Now if for the HTML tag I give a font size of say 32 pixel, and here I'll be able to use font size 2 times root element. That will be 2 times of 32 pixel. Okay, now if I change this to 64 pixel, it will be much more big. Next one more like unit of measure is 2 times m. Okay, now let's nest this inside another div. Okay, so if I do that, and here I write div and give it a font size of say 10 pixel, then 2 times m will be 20 pixel. Now if I increase the font size to say 32 pixel, that will be reflected here. 64 pixel, this font size will occupy. So these were some of the measures. Where is it? I'll go back, because I need this for reference. So I'll add one more, font size 1 rem and font size 1 em. So I'll comment this for the reference. Okay, let's go to the next section, that is CSS Flexbox. Before starting Flexbox, like I would like to like ask any doubts. So Shashank, okay, can you unshare the screen, please? Okay. To do gradients. Gradients, like we'll cover very soon. Like when we do the background, like background properties, I'll tell that. You know what? I'll show the background right next, because like background color and everything, that is not so much important. I just wanted to focus on how laying out different things. But like I will just go through that right now if you want.
Guys, if you have any doubts, you can ask. No. If not, we can continue.
I'll wait for 1 more minute, then I'll continue.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just continue. Gradients, like Suyog, I will cover while doing the project. Okay. Okay, Shashank, I think I'll continue. Just share the screen. Okay, wait. There is a question. What is Bootstrap? Okay, Bootstrap is a CSS library. Okay, yeah, CSS libraries do like reduce a lot of like what we do with CSS. But a solid knowledge of CSS is very much necessary. If you want to modify the Bootstrap classes. That is why like we kind of went through web design first, like before going to CSS libraries. So like yeah, we'll do a recap of whatever I thought right now as well when we are doing the mini project. We'll get to Bootstrap very soon. Like after this workshop, like we'll conduct one more session. The thing is, yeah, like covering every single thing is hard within 2 hours. You do have to understand. So let me continue with the session. Okay. So yeah, okay. Now what I'll do is, huh. Okay. Let's go to CSS Flexbox. Okay. Now before going to the explanation of Flexbox, so what I'll do is I'll write some code so that we can make layout for that. Okay. First of all, so you might remember box model that we had to use margin to like bring div to the bring the box to the center, right? So instead of that, what we can do is we can like we can use something called Css Flex Box. Okay. So in order to show Flexbox, I will make one box first. Okay. Okay, this is too big. Let me just get rid of all the styles. Okay. Okay, now it's proper. There are 3 boxes. Okay. So let's use box model to handle all these 3 boxes. Now I give the paragraph a width of 10 pixel, 100 pixel. That is not enough. I'll use 200 pixel. Okay, now they are kind of looking good. So let's say I wanted to, bring all of them side by side. Like I wanted all of these 3 boxes side by side. What I could do? What I could do is there is also percentage for width. Okay, if I use 30% of the width, that means 30% of the container, which is 100%. 100% means the whole screen. 30% means just like 30% of the screen. Now next, what I have to do is float left. What that does is like move every box as much left as possible. The first box was moved to the left, second box was moved to the left, and so on. It's like that. Like all the upcoming boxes will be moved to left. Okay. And yeah, now these 3 things are stacked side by side, but the thing is like when squish the page, for squishing the page, like if you want to view at different width, what you can do is in Mozilla there is this icon. You can press on it and you can decrease the width like this. So what happens is like it doesn't look good. Like these 2 boxes, they don't go to the next page. So that is why you can to simplify this, you can use flex. You can do much more like flexible laying out using Flexbox. So I'll show how to use flex, but first of all we need some terminologies to use flex, so I'll show that. First of all, like now the whole container, the div that we used is the container, and the paragraphs that was inside the box were items. Okay, so that is one of the terminology, and there is like direction on which we want the boxes to appear. That is like that could either be row or column. So I'll show that instead of telling the terminologies. Okay. So okay, now for box, I'll make the box as flex container. What you can do to make the box as flex container is write display flex, and for each paragraph what you can do is paragraphs, let it be for now. I won't touch it. If you go and see now, all the boxes appear side by side. Okay, if you just make the container as flex, here you can see div is the container and paragraphs are the items. So if you go back, you can do many things with the the items. Okay, first property I would like to show is justify content. Now if I do justify content and center, wait a minute. Huh. I'll make them a little smaller, okay, so that I can move them around instead. width I'll give some 200, no need, 100 pixel. Now as you can see, if I give width of 100 pixel and right, justify content center, all the items within the flex container will appear in the center. Okay, and if I do justify content flex end, all the items will appear on the end of the container, like along the row. Now along the row is main axis, and along the column is cross axis. Okay, so justify content, like it aligns along the main axis. And flex end is done. Flex start also you can use to put it back in the starting position. This is default. So these are the three values that are important. Now I can go to next thing, align items. Here if I put center, you can see that all these content were big, only this content was small, but it reached the center of cross axis, along the column. I can use flex end here as well. It will go to the bottom end of the cross axis. Default is obviously flex start. Now I want one of the content to like go to the center. What I can do is I can get rid of this, and I can go here, and this content I want center, I can do align self center. So only that paragraph will be present in the center. So these were some of the flex properties for these were some of the flex properties. I covered justify content, moving content along the main axis, and align items, moving content along the y-axis. So I mean cross axis. So before going to semantic elements, now I would like to start a mini project. So if you already have a HTML open, just clear everything. Like we'll be giving you the presentation, so don't worry about the practice. What, like if you are doing the practice, don't worry about it. We'll give the slides. Now let's do the first mini project. Okay, I'll show what we'll be doing. Give me a minute. So we'll be making this. Okay, using Css Flex Box. So let's get started. Okay, so before that, like Shashank, can you stop sharing the screen right now? Okay, so I just wanted to share some resources. Okay, instead of sharing the resource, I'll actually show you how to get the resource. Like we can use the Google Fonts and everything. No? So I'll show that. Okay. Now what we'll do is I'll close the live server for now. First, I need to get the resource. Go to fonts.google.com. Okay. So I'll need the font Poppins and select regular and bold and go to embed. Copy in import section, copy this URL. If you have copied this URL, that is good. After that, just copy the font family. Okay, like you have to apply the font to like all the elements. So copy this rule as well. And in the CSS, follow what I'm doing. Apply font family. I didn't copy. Excuse me. So copy this and put it in wildcard selector. Now that you'll be using Poppins font from Google, Google Fonts. Okay, that is one of the resource. The other few resource will be downloaded from Pexels. Here you can find any like if you want a stock image, you can use Pexels for that. Here you can use any image, it doesn't matter, but I'll be using like one particular image. I'll use portrait. So here any random image you can take. I'll use this. So I'll download it. For both of the images, you can use any image. Okay, it's okay. So next I'll search for any scene. Okay, I'll use Canon. You can use any images. Just copy them into your folder. Shashank, just check if I'm audible.
Yes, now you are.
Hello. Okay. I'll share the screen.
Yeah.
So I hope you do have some sort of like image copied. It doesn't matter like this particular image or anything. The thing is like we will do a mini project to get a hold of whatever we are learning. So let's get started. Okay. First, okay. First, we'll make a section. Um, Now let's get a reference. Like there is just a part like there's, uh, like these maybe here in the
Arvind,
link. So this
your voice is breaking.
yeah. Oh, okay. Just wait a minute. Right now, am I audible?
Yeah, now it's fine.
Uh, okay. So let's lay out different things here. First, I'll make a div to contain everything. Next, this div is for article, like and I use the image for putting us, giving us for this image. I'll put here. Instead of like getting confused. Like this I'll use. Okay. You can also rename the relevant images. So
I'm
that,
sorry, I think it's breaking, I guess, again.
sorry.
Your voice is breaking, I guess.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yeah, now it's proper.
Hello. Okay.
Yeah,
So any
you're audible.
okay. I'll read once if I'm missing something. First main div we'll use for
Hello, guys. Just a sec. He'll be joining.
check. Am I audible now?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I think when you just share the screen with VS Code, I think it's the problem there.
Uh,
Just try sharing screen.
yeah. Okay. Now is it working?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, there is an outer div. Inside that, I have written a div for the article, and there is an image, and I have made a div for the heading. Okay. So here first we'll write heading for the subtitle. I'll use H2 article. You can write anything. I'll write 24. Okay. And here we are supposed to write the like this section, driving through canyons. We can use BR tag to give a line break between each lines. Then after this, like we'll use a, for this section, there is a, we'll use an anchor tag. Okay. First we'll use div to cover the whole thing. Then image of avatar, and we'll use paragraph for the not paragraph, we'll use anchor tag for rest of the content. Okay. Anchor tag, it goes nowhere because we don't have multiple pages, but like we'll give a dummy link. So person, maybe here I'll write what should I write? Okay, what I'll write is this is paragraph, we write this, okay, by this person. You can write, you can write. And nature, I'll put it inside an anchor tag. Here also I'm using a dummy tag, dummy link. So these are content of heading. First we have a like article number. Then within H1 I want this driving through canyons. Then we put this like avatar image by Michael Jonas and everything. We put inside a div using image and paragraph. Okay. Now next we'll go to the actual like article content, this thing. So here, that was the end of heading. I'll use a paragraph tag to put lorem 30. So that will give content. Okay. I didn't open the browser because I know it looks like ugly because we have included many things. We are just creating content for. We have covered this section. We added page text, and finally we'll add a anchor tag that will go to read more. Read more doesn't exist at this point, but we're using this as a dummy just for designing purpose. Read more, 12 minutes read. Okay. Now I'll just open this using Light Server to show how it looks without any formatting. I'll close this. Okay. Now as you can see, it looks very ugly, and image is so big you can't see anything. So we need to fix this. So let's go to, like, if you haven't linked the styling, link it right now. So we'll go to style. So I won't touch the rest of the things. These things I'll push it down for now. I'll create a neat version of this. Okay, let's start styling. Okay. Now, okay. So I don't want any padding for now. I'll cancel out all the padding and margin to 0. And I want to apply box sizing, border box to all of the content, because I want the width to be consistent across all the like boxes. Now let's just see. Now as you can see, padding is gone, margin is gone everywhere. Now what I'll do is, first of all, let's fix the fix this image. Okay, this image looks so big now. I'll fix that. So go to this image heading div. Okay, right after article, and give it a class of article header. And in CSS, we'll write article header image. Now for this image, we will change the width. Width can be somewhere around, say, 64 pixel. Now you might be wondering, why did you use like 64 pixel? I use because 64 is divisible, right? You can divide it into 32. It's like use a bit that is like very divisible. I mean, it helps in maintaining uniformity. Now this has been reduced to like small size, so that is that is not disturbing right now. Next, I'll change it even less. 42 is also a good width, and height I'll make it 42 as well, so that I get a square. Now you can see it looks kind of like weird. So in order to fix that, we can use object cover. That is that only like it occupies only, and the image won't be compressed. Okay, that is done. I want that image to be round, so I'll use border radius 50%. So that will be round. So we kind of have solved that problem. So we can move on to the next things. For example, this size is proper. I want this to be very big. Like as you might have seen here, driving through canyons is very big, right? So I want to change the properties of second heading. So what I'll do is article header h1. So what we are targeting is in this article header, we are targeting h1. Okay. So there I will change the size to font size. So I will use a different measure. Okay, I will use 3M for now. So I know, like, okay, I'll use 4M. Okay, so I think it's matching this right now. And what we can do is we can give some margin of 5M. 5M is too much, so I'll use 0.5M, and 0.5M top and bottom. Okay, this is for it goes like this: vertical margin and horizontal margin. So top and bottom I want 0.5 times the like this element font size, and right and left I don't want any margin. So now it will look like this. There is some margin right now, if you can see. Next, what I'll do is, that is done, I want some letter spacing. As you can see here, there is a spacing between each letter. So I use letter spacing 0.2M. I think that looks good. Next up, I use text transform uppercase. Like there are properties. Okay, so like there is uppercase, there is lowercase. You can change the casing also using text transform property. This has turned into like whole converted into uppercase. Let's go to next word. The next we can style this. Here we will use flex. Okay. What is the author details and everything. So use a utility class called So what we can do is make a flex wrapper class and give it a, like make it a flex container. Now, as you can see here, this is appearing side by side because I used flex. So everything inside the box will appear side by side. And here we can give a style of align items center, so that vertically also, that content is aligned. What now? One problem I'm having, the anchor tag is not looking so good, so I can change the anchor styling for every anchor tag to hello, check. Am I audible?
Yes, now it's fine.
Okay. So like, okay, where was I? Huh. So okay, let's continue from anchor tag. Okay. Okay. So I'll repeat certain parts of it if you have missed. What I did is make, uh, make this part as a flex box, and so that image and this paragraph appear side by side. Okay. And I use align item center so that they are vertically centered. Like this content is vertically centered as well. So this anchor is looking ugly right now, so I want to change that. So in order to change that, I'm targeting all the anchor tags and coloring them 101010. This color I remember, but you don't have to do that. You can just do like FFF and change it to black or nearly black. I don't want fully black also. Okay, that works for me. And I can increase the font size to bold. Not font size, font weight to bold. So as you can see, every anchor tag got changed here. Now here I might need some spacing, so what I can do is go to the image and you can style it to add a margin right. It doesn't have to be 2M, it can be anything, but I'm just experimenting around, so I can add 1M, maybe 1M is good enough in this case. So these three parts are fixed. So let's go to paragraph next. So in order to style paragraph, I'll give it a class of article content. In article content, we'll give article content. What we can do is we can give it a line height of 1M. 1M here means 16 pixel. Okay, because here the default paragraph like size is 16 pixels. So let's go and see. That is not enough, so I can give 1.6M. That would be good enough, I believe. So if the lorem text is not enough, you can add some more. I'll add 10 more. Okay, that is enough, I guess. So now in this image, they're looking side by side. Here it's looking it's in the same vertical column, right? To avoid that, what we can do is the whole article I can give a flex wrapper so that like flex is applied to that. Now one problem is that okay, wait a minute, not here. Outer div I'll add a class of flex wrapper. Okay, now this article appears on the left and the image appears on the right, because all the content inside the flex container will appear horizontally. Okay, now what we'll do is okay, so much is done. We might need a space after paragraph, so I'll add some margin to the paragraph. Here article content I can add margin. Horizontally I'll add a margin of 1 em, and vertically I'll add a margin of 1 em, and horizontally I won't add any margin. So some spacing is available, and for the whole article also I'll add some padding right here itself. So this looks somewhat good right now. Now in order to make the whole like now in this picture they are all appearing in the center, what I can do is I can like use a utility class called container, and I can go to style and I can use container class here and give it a width of 80%. 80% means 80% of the whole screen. Now it needs to be sent. There is one more problem. This image like it is also not correct, like the orientation is kind of different, right? So in order to fix that, I can go to like image. Here I can use width I won't use. I'll use object fit, and I'll use contain. Not contain, I'll use cover. Cover is better. Contain means according to the width, cover means according to the height. Okay, now this is proper. And for container, I need to bring this to the center, so I'll use margin and auto. That means add equal width on right and left so that the whole content is centered. So finally, we do have a version of this. So before continuing to the next section, I just want to ask any Q&A. Any questions? See, like we have two options. Like there is a lot to cover, no? So like the thing is, we won't be able to put everything. So what we'll do is like even this project, like my voice was not continuous. So to solve such thing, what we'll do is we can like we'll make a separate video YouTube series, or like we'll do a separate session, so that like any such whatever we missed, we'll cover that. I need some sort of feedback, like either if you have questions, or like if you want the project to be repeated, like you have to kind of give me a feedback here. Okay, so like I'll send the HTML and CSS file. I do have a like I have made a GitHub repo, so like I'll be able to share that, like for not only this project, like I have other projects planned also. But the thing is, 2 hours is nowhere enough to cover a lot of things, so we kind of run out of time. Okay, Shashank, can you join in? Okay. So like would you like are you okay with continuing the session, or should we like can we do the separate session? Just send some feedback on the comments, please.
Yeah, guys, like if you're fine, we'll continue, or else we'll take maybe tomorrow. So
No feedback. Okay. So like what we'll do is like see, like since 2 hours was very short, so like I'll do a very slow version of what I was doing you over YouTube live sessions, so that like I could cover somewhat more. That is one thing, but apart from that, like I'll mention all the resources that you can refer to, improve your CSS and HTML. uh, I'll open a document and share the slide. Shashank, when I open that, okay. Thank you. Thank you for the feedback. So yeah, tomorrow also I'll do the session, but I'll share some of the resources. Shashank, just wait. I'll open a Google Doc and write all the resources like that they can refer. Like if say like they're not satisfied with the workshop, like I mean I'll also share the resources. Like if they are good enough, they can follow that as well.
we'll share in Discord. Okay, that's better.
Okay. So I'll make a document and share it in the Discord. Okay, like regarding whatever resources that you can refer. Apart from that, I just want to tell about the nature of these workshops. The problem is that yes, like when we are announcing a workshop, we do have to mention it for 2 hours, so that like people don't get overwhelmed. But 2 hours in general, it's short to cover a lot of things. So what we'll do is like as Suyog said, we could like cover this over a week in a very slow, much slower paced, and so that it can be much more detailed. We will make sure that even with repetition also, like if we have to repeat also, we will repeat, and like we will make sure that everyone uh, we'll make sure that everyone understands whatever we were trying to convey. Okay, Shashank might be busy because he has MSc coming up very soon, but I mean, I will be able to dedicate more time compared to him. So like I'll make sure that we make sure everyone understands whatever like we are trying to convey. So yeah, like resources will be shared in the Discord. Okay, so like we'll put it on the GitHub. Shashank, would you like to conclude?
Yeah, we'll let you know, guys. When can we like continue the session? Either tomorrow or maybe day after tomorrow. Uh, just a sec. So yeah, thank you for attending this session. Like we'll definitely continue this session maybe in the coming days, and we also have a plan to do a session on CSS libraries as well. That we'll maybe do after MSc, so that most of the people can join, like who are interested. So yeah, I think we can end this session for today, and we'll meet you guys uh, maybe in the next coming days. Anything else, Arvind?
So yeah, thank you, Suyog. Like, thank you, Suyog, for the feedback. One more thing is that yes, like this is not it in the web design. There is also UX part of it. I mean, in companies, there will be a UX designer who makes the mock-up and everything, and hands it over to the developer. So like if that is needed, we can also conduct a session for that. So this was also like like we are also checking out like how could the workshop go, and like what people want. Like we do need your feedback to understand like how we can proceed with the future workshop. It shouldn't be 2 hours and done, right? So that is the thing. Unlike like other clubs, we do want to continue this. Like we want to continue and cover everything, and it should be like a series, right? So that is the plan. So thank you guys for attending. We will
And
share relevant resources and like also GitHub link to the projects. If someone is good enough, they can go through that and get a better idea as well. But we'll also cover the projects. Like we will do the live sessions and everything, so that this is clearly covered.
and
Okay,
yeah,
Shashank, I think
once the CSS libraries are done, we'll ask you guys to make some small projects, and yeah, the top 5 projects will be featured in our DSC NMAMIT website. So yeah, so that you guys can get some help out of it.
yeah, Shashank, I think we can conclude this session for now.
Yeah, we
Thank you
can.
everyone for attending and
Yeah.
showing interest in web development. So like don't think that this session is the end of it, because we will be we'll try our best to put out regular content. Thank you.